What does it look like for a new to industry agent now? Are they door knocking? Are they making TikToks? Are they calling people? Like, what does that look like now?
Oh, I don't know anything about TikTok.
Perth property market, it's had a bit of movement over the last 3 to 5 years. Where is it now and where will it be in the next 5 years?
Well, there's hardly any properties on the market. 2.5% more stock, not a lot.
Please?
I need it.
In 2013, did you ever see yourself being where you are now? You've clearly worked hard to get there though.
Oh, I think everyone works hard. It's just making sure that you also have very, very good support around you.
Was there a listing or a turning point that put you in that direction?
All of energy bouncing out of my skin. I just felt like, oh my gosh, I could explode.
So if anyone's listening and they're thinking, I really want to take that step into real estate, what advice would you give them? Welcome back to another episode of That Backyard Property Pod. I am so excited to have the guest in today. We have a business owner, award-winning real estate agent, a mother, a wife, the principal of Ray White, Dalkeith-Claremont, Vivien Yap. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you in here.
Me too.
And it's this time of year where there's awards and everything going on. I wouldn't usually go into this straight away, but congratulations on the awards last week.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so proud of my office. We came number 6 internationally, and that's a big coup, actually, especially for WA, against all the big boys in Sydney and Queensland, of course.
Yeah, just in terms of the dollar value of Sydney properties in comparison to WA, as Perth, it must be hard to compete with them.
Yes, I think we have to sell probably 20 to beat their one property sale. So a few of my really good friends, they've sold one property for $80 million. So as you can see, WA is not comparable yet to Sydney, but we're nearly getting there.
Yeah, well, especially with the numbers you're doing as well as an individual. So you also won an award yourself.
Yeah, I'm very proud too. So we came number 4. I came number 4 as the international selling principal. So excited. I thought I was coming in number 6. I was ready to stand up. And they called number 5. I was like ready to stand up. And they said, sit down, Vivien. It's not your turn. So number 4 was really, really awesome.
Oh, I can't wait to go into your journey in real estate, the success you've had in real estate. But I love starting this off with what a home means to you. Given you've sold so many, what does home mean?
Well, to me, a home is where your family is spending the majority of the time together. It's where memories are made and different chapters of lives are just evolving. And for me, I think that means so much to a lot of my families when I'm helping them create memories.
Yeah. And you grew up in Perth, in the western suburbs. Are you like trying to recreate the same memories you had as a kid growing up?
Oh, definitely. I think we, of course, migrated from Malaysia and Mum's from Singapore. And then, of course, when I came over to Perth, I didn't know what to expect because Dad just, told us, get on the plane. We got on the plane, get off the plane. Where are we? We're in WA. So obviously I had to make sure that I found my friends and get my family, friends all together. We're always helping each other out. And when we're at home, I think we're always spending time together, cooking, loads and loads of gatherings, family get-togethers, al fresco entertaining areas always being used all the time. And I think these are the beautiful memories that I love to create for my own family, of course, but then for the families I'm helping, I always find out what is so important to you in the house. So just really wondering what will fulfill their dream for their kids and their extended family and any guests who's flying over to spend time with them.
It's so special. Do you remember that chat, like moving here? When did you move to Perth?
I moved over at the age of 14, so that was back in 1986, so that gives my age away. But I was a teenager and it was quite difficult trying to assimilate into the school system as well. Yeah. And they, I suppose, have different streams in Malaysia, whereas over here you sort of, put into a class and you just got to find your way. And of course, in Asia, they pretty much will sort of tell you you're either a science girl or you're home economics. So you're already kind of categorized.
Yeah.
So when we came over, it was like, wow, this is great. Free fall, do whatever you want as long as you do well. It was quite hard to sort of form a friendship group as well. There was a bit of bullying back in those days, a little bit of racism, but it just makes you more resilient. Hard to actually fit in at one stage because I remember a few of the not friends at school, but, peers, they were pouring orange juice over my head and, really doing a bit of bullying. But I thought, well, I'm going to learn how to do taekwondo. So I went to my phys ed teacher. I said, okay, you run a taekwondo school. I want to join. So that's where I met a few of the boys as well. And I think eventually there's a bit of respect for each other when they try to, kick me or do whatever. It's like, yeah, you fight back a little bit.
Yeah. So does that, I'm trying to imagine what the resilience is that you built that's helped you on the journey in real estate, because you need to be fairly resilient in real estate as well.
Yes. And I think I grew up in a family where, our work ethic is extremely strong. I remember seeing my dad working non-stop as, I suppose he was only in his 30s at the time. He'd be working well beyond midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, but he resurfaces roads. And so I'll be working alongside him, climbing up, all the tractors and the steamrollers in the middle of the night. He'll close down all the roads and you'll see him trying to get all his tenders in, making sure he gets the job because, as you know, it's very competitive in Asia. So if you're not good enough, you'll just be cast aside. So Mum and Dad always just said to me, look, you just got to work hard. The main aim is if you are going to control your future, you have to control your own destiny. So work hard so people can see that, you're not afraid. Yeah.
It's hard to find that balance sometimes though, isn't it? With working hard and then overworking too.
There's no balance.
Yeah.
There's zero balance. If you think there's balance, think again. If you want to be in real estate, it's very hard to have I just find it impossible to have a good balanced lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's probably because of my personality. If somebody rings, somebody, wants to do this, you just jump and you just need to be accessible, available anytime. But of course, within reason as well. But it's not an easy job.
No. And I imagine it's changed a lot over the last 10 years. When did you start in real estate?
I started around 2012, started work full-time 2013 because I was still teaching at the University of WA. I was still doing a little bit of tutorial work and covering for lecturers as well. I was doing some locuming work too. So I was trying to do everything. I could not give up pharmacy. And my dad always said, oh, you studied so hard. How can you possibly give up your registration as a pharmacist? I held on to that for a while. So, it was about 2013 when I really worked full-time. And I thought, okay, this is good. And it's kind of a adrenaline rush when you get the listing or you sell the property for a family and you also help the next family find their dream home, and it's quite fulfilling. It's really cool.
Because that's 13 years on. In 2013, did you ever see yourself being where you are now?
I would say yes, because I've always been quite I visualise, what I aim to try and get. And I think for me, I always knew I would do well in whatever I do, but probably not as well as where we are ranked at the moment, especially internationally. It makes a big difference when we attend conferences, and a lot of my peers come up to me and they go, oh, we'd love for you to help us, would you mentor us? So it's quite I feel very privileged to be where I am today for sure.
You've clearly worked hard to get there though.
Oh, I think everyone works hard. It's just making sure that you also have very, very good support around you. When I talk about support, it's about the people at work who's really always right beside you. If you need anything or you need to brainstorm, they're right there with you. we fight, but we are united. I love the fact that we can challenge each other, debate a point, and yet have the solution we all want. And having really supportive families around you as well, like my husband, my kids. Without them, I don't think I'll be able to do this at all. Yeah.
And I guess it's such a heavily sales-focused environment, real estate. And I've always wondered how you can create a successful office while all being unanimously driving towards one thing, when there's obviously going to be people that are upset they missed out on a listing or upset they missed out on a sale. How do you work through that?
Oh, it's never easy, because if, let's say, it's a young rookie agent, it's probably harder to get them off that negative or out of that negative mindset. But if it's someone who's been in the real estate industry for a little bit longer, you find that they can actually handle the negative better. Or, if they lose a listing, they feel a bit down, but they spring up, very quickly. And the way we do this is we have a very, very good team. And the way we work together, we also have a co-agent, or we have a sales manager, and we're constantly supporting each other. And if you haven't done the work and they haven't chosen you, it's okay. There's always another deal to be done, another job, to list, another interview. So we just sit back and then think back, what did we do wrong? We always ask the question. And sometimes if the agent doesn't want to ring the owner or the vendor, why did they not get the listing? We have our colleague who would ring, who's our sales manager, and find out, what did we do wrong? What can we do to improve? And I think if you're not afraid to find out how badly you've presented, it could be you're just in a bad headspace for that one moment in time, or maybe you didn't get along with them, or, we just didn't do enough. We were maybe at 50%, or are we at 75% energy, or could we have given 110%? So I think being honest with each other is really good, and we learn from each other. So we try and just say, move on to the next one. Let's move on.
Just keep going.
Yes.
It's such a burner of an industry in terms of the intensity, because there's so many emotions, and you're interacting on such high levels as well. How do you go about people wanting to only work with you when you obviously need the team to be part of the sale as well? Yeah,
I don't think any one agent can achieve everything on their own. When I talk about, listing with me, we definitely have to have a good administration team. We need to have a really good team of photographers, stylists, handymen, trades. I can't do everything, but what I'm really good at is obviously communicating with the clients, communicating with prospective buyers, and doing the deal, negotiating the deal. It's like having a brain surgeon. You need the nurses, you need the anaesthetists, you need the machines, you need everyone around you to support you. And if you are doing absolutely everything, then you're not specialising in what you do best, which is negotiating, getting them the best price.
Yeah, which is your job at the end of the day,
That is my job, my sole job.
Perth property market, it's had a bit of movement over the last 3 to 5 years. Where is it now, and where will it be in the next 5 years?
Well, there's hardly any properties on the market in our area of, let's say, Dalkeith-Claremont, Netherlands. Anything that's hitting the market, they sell within a 14-day period, which is very, very short. I do think there's actually some steam still, and I do believe that the WA market is still very strong. That is also due to the lack of stock. We do need to help our owners find their next property before they can sell too. So we are leaning in on a lot of buyers agents at the moment and making sure that we are reaching out to a lot of homeowners who have been contemplating about putting their property on the market. And of course, it's not easy. It's like a cycle that you need to help them. So if you don't help them find something, you have nothing to sell. So we're trying to get out there as much as we can and being really proactive. And I've never door knocked before, but I'm finally door knocking.
Really?
So it is horrifying for me, but I am doing it. But, it is something that we have to do. It's a service. And people appreciate that when, you are helping them find their next property as well. So I do believe the WA market is good, very, very good. I'm not saying that it's going to be, flying through in 20, 30% growth every year, but I do believe it's steadily growing. And that's because we haven't caught up to, the Sydney prices yet, and, it's slowly and steadily growing.
Do you think there will, obviously people talk a lot about spring, and we're coming into that time of year being a good market to buy, which there is never a good market. Do you see listings and supply increasing over that period, or do you think we're going to be in this stalemate for a while?
No, there will be a few more listings coming to market for sure. We are appraising a lot of properties. However, a lot of them are also taking their time to make decisions. A lot of them are coming to the market as an off-market listing. So we're putting a few deals together off-market. You don't hear about it, and that's why the statistics are not showing the numbers either. However, we do think there will be, maybe another 2.5% more stock. Not a lot.
Please?
I need it. I definitely need some stock for my owners. Yeah,
it's tough because obviously on the finance side, the biggest conundrum that I'm facing with clients at the moment is trying to either upgrade or downsize without having found the next property. And so people are so concerned about selling theirs to move without having found the one they're moving to, because that's the biggest decision they're going to make. Yes. I'm finding it so hard because then they're not putting their property on the market because they haven't found their one.
Absolutely. But it is very easy to help them too. So we're doing a few transactions at the moment, and the way I've done it is we've done the special condition to be a long settlement with an option for them to rent back at a nominal rental amount or free rental. So in certain cases, we've also done a special clause where it is a long settlement, but upon written notice, they can also settle within 30 or 60 days. So the notice is provided from the vendor to the buyer, and most buyers are agreeing to it. Number one, there's hardly any stock on the market. So number two, they just need to comply. A lot of the buyers are willing to comply with some of the conditions that's been requested by the vendors.
It's interesting you mentioned that condition because the contracts I see in Sydney especially, that's actually quite common.
Yes.
So especially a long settlement.
Yes.
And so I find that we're almost coming towards the set like Sydney conditions, shorter finance clauses, those sort of longer settlements. Yeah. I wonder if that's just the way we'll naturally continue to head.
I think so. Majority of my settlements are now taking a lot longer. They're no longer 30 days or 60 days. They're sort of 90 days at the moment. I've got one which is nearly 6 months. So we just, wait a bit longer to get paid, but we're very happy because we're able to help them. That's the most important thing.
I'd love to know, given your success, it must, it was funny, I was reading through your awards, and it's actually quite a long scroll to get through them. How do you actually define success? What does the success mean to you?
I think success for me, it's not about the awards. It's about being able to fulfill, what's important to me. I think I'm here to help a lot of my younger agents succeed. We do have a young team, and we love training the sales associates so that we can help them grow. I think that's our success. And a lot of agents feel a bit intimidated when they join an agency, for example, just given a corner and just do your thing, whereas we allow them to utilize our database. We give them an area to work in. I think what we have done really successfully is plan their marketing and assist them if they have a difficult client. And I'm always stepping in to help, and my managers who are highly experienced are always stepping in, and we'll have senior agents that, who are always willing to help. And I think to create a work environment where everyone truly wants to come to work, that's success for me. And everyone's happy, and I think that's so important. I think happiness can be defined in many different, categories as well. Of course they need to earn good money, but they also need to have a really good work culture. And I think that is success to me.
How do you then, given you've got kids, I've got kids, and I'm trying to work through how I want them to have a sense of drive and have this work ethic. How do you instill that in your kids without putting expectation on them? Because it's quite a fine balance.
It is. But I think the best way for them to be driven is to be a role model so they can see you doing it. So set an example for them to follow because they won't know anything other than hard work. And if they see it day in, day out, and they're immersed in that environment, they will not know anything else but be driven. So that's what I want my boys to be. And in fact, one of them, one is currently doing dentistry, and my other boy is doing real estate. That's Vivien Yap. So he's followed my footsteps.
And he's working in the office?
He is. He's now real estate. He's in real estate sales, and he's specialising in Dalkeith-Claremont at the moment. And he's just sold one property in Subiaco. He's very excited, actually. So he's working so hard. And I'm thinking, do you ever sleep? He goes, no. So he's up in the morning at 6. He doesn't sleep till probably midnight. And we're trying to, I suppose, engage all the buyers together. And we finally put together a deal together. So it was a mum and son team. It was really, really good to see. And I remember seeing my husband videotaping both of us doing the deal together. It's like, proud moment. I was like, yes, so proud.
Wow.
And by the time we closed the final offer, it was nearly 11:15 p.m. So the owner was so happy because obviously he just saw the work ethic instilled in him. And what was her word? She said, formidable force. She said, yeah, a formidable force. I'm like, that's a good one. I've never heard of that before. So it was awesome.
Yeah, because I guess now you obviously have a lot of sales agents within the business, so there can't be any sort of preferential treatment, obviously. But there must be a bit of you that's like, come on, Matthew, like, I know you can do this.
Yeah, I think I don't do him any favours. If anything, he's got to work harder than anybody else, and he knows that. So nothing's a given. So obviously, he wants it proved to everybody he's able to cut it in this business. But he started from the bottom. Yeah. So he knew how to do every job that agents do not like to do. And, from emptying the bins to reception to doing the pointers to door knocking, flyers, everything. So he's doing everything from ground at ground zero.
You have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to learn all the nitty gritty of it. Because I find that real estate agents, people may want to enter the industry because of money or whatever it might be. But you've got to do those hard yards at the start. What does it look like for a new to industry agent now? Are they door knocking? Are they making TikToks? Are they calling people? Like, what does that look like now?
Oh, I don't know anything about TikTok. That just shows how ancient I am. But I think it really depends on your market. So you have to understand your market, understand what your market needs from you as an agent. So in our area, it may not be about TikTok. It may be all about relationships that's been, fostered from years ago. And because I grew up in the Western suburbs, it's a lot easier for all of us as well, because you're in the environment of, being in the school, in the local cafes and in the events that is a community event. And we sponsor a lot of the local clubs as well. So, of course, my son's been, helping me ever since he was 12 years old, actually. So they've seen him grow up. So it's a bit different, from someone who is going in cold. As a new agent, it's important that you, of course, have a database. You must have, the understanding of who's living in which street and what is transacting. And when you talk to the neighbours, they'll share a lot more information with you. And it's not about door knocking once, it's about door knocking multiple times on the same street. And I've realised that now because there's no stop. I'm doing it now, so it's horrifying.
I worked as a real estate agent with my mum. So my mum's a real estate agent, very successful one in Darwin. And so I worked with her for a number of years and door knocked for about 2 years straight in Darwin. Incredibly tough environment to door knock in.
It is.
And so I feel a little bit of the pain, obviously not to the same success, but door knocking is tough. But what I did learn was you knock on someone's door, no one's angry, aggressive. No. Like everyone opens a door with a smile generally.
Yes. If they know you, they will welcome you, definitely. However, I do find that phone calls are easier for me. I prefer phone calls, especially off the back of a home open. It's a lot easier. And definitely just be constantly willing to share information. I think that's the key.
You work with a lot of high net worth individuals. Are there some common traits that you see among those people?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, so you'll find that the high net worth individuals are very busy. They will want some direction from you because they've engaged a real estate agent to assist them with real estate advice. And we do this day in, day out. They need to make very complex decisions within a very short time frame. They will want you to assist them with answering all their whys immediately. You know, it's this. They want clarity right now. They want concise strategies right now. So they also want absolute discretion. So once again, they want you to do the job, but they also appreciate, you know, privacy, confidentiality. And I think a lot of people work like this. They don't want everybody to know their business. So I think, you know, it is similar in that, you know, category for sure.
Can you remember the turning point where you entered that world, if you like? Like, obviously you can sell real estate around Perth, but all of a sudden you're in this area where you're selling these high net worth individuals' homes. Was there a listing or a turning point that put you in that direction?
Yes, there was actually. I did sell my friend's home in Woodlands, but from there I had 2 phone calls that I made, and it was actually an old listing that was sitting on the market for more than a year. So when I contacted them, I never expected them to call me back at all. It was just a cold call. I remember this elderly lady, she was well into her 80s when I called her, and she said, "Oh no, the listing is it's with another agent, and it's been a year, and I inherited that property from my father-in-law." So I said, "Oh sure, but I've got a buyer for the property." I've left multiple messages for this agent, and they haven't called me back because I did have a buyer at the time. And when they called me back, it was a son who said, "I'm in town. I'm in Cottesloe. Do you want to meet me?" I said, "Oh, that'd be great." And I found out later this agent they employed went on a holiday, and obviously they've lost interest in selling the property, being on the market for over a year. So they gave me a chance. It was such a lucky stroke of luck. It was just pure luck, I feel. So when they met me, I was so excited, full of energy bouncing out of my skin. I just felt like, oh my gosh, I could explode. But of course, you know, when I met them, I was just so grateful they were giving me a chance. And it was a property in Cottesloe, and when they gave me the listing, I was like, "I worked so hard. You know, I'll be there 7 days a week," because I didn't have any other listings. So I was opening Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then I remembered being told off for working on a Sunday in Cottesloe. They go, "What are you doing to us?" These are all the agents. They go, "Why are you working on a Sunday?" I said, "I don't have any other listings. I just want to work." So, of course, I sold it within 3.5 weeks, and it was a really good price as well. And then that led to another Cottesloe listing, and then it led to another listing in Peppermint Grove. And that's how it started. It just happened by chance. I did not get any listings from my friends in the Western Suburbs area, which is the blue chip area in WA. And nobody I knew from school gave me that listing immediately. It's a slow grind because many of my friends were not ready to sell. And it's just finding out, you know, who is selling. So it was a cold call, and I went through the white pages, I remember, and I rang her. She was in Querriting. I was like, "Where's Querriting?"
Where is it?
I know. And then she said, "You know, I'll call you." And then she never did. And I called her again. She goes, "Don't worry, my son will call you." And when they did, it was a good listing. It was just a tad under 4 million. And then the next one was, over 4 million. And the next one was 3 million. So back in those days, it's a lot of money for WA. And that's how I cut my teeth.
The adrenaline, I can feel it in your voice where you're like,
Oh, I loved it.
You just felt like you just so excited.
I know, it was so good. And I never thought I would actually do well like that in real estate in my first year. So my husband just sent me a photo, and it was such an ugly photo of me, I remember, only just 2 days ago. And I saw it was a REWA my first 12 months in my REWA figures, where I actually worked full time, I did 81 million. So it was awesome. And I realized, that's pretty cool.
I can do
for
this.
a first year, I can do this full time right now. That's how it started.
Do you still get that same sense of excitement?
Yes. Yeah, I do. When I get a listing, I've got this adrenaline rush, and I just tell the whole team, and they get so excited with me as well. And I tell my husband, and I think because it's a second career and I was given a second chance to do something I truly love, it was no longer working 12, 14 hours a day and being worried about being held up or being robbed at gunpoint. And that's pharmacy. That's pharmacy world for us when we work 7 days a week. It's quite scary, of course, and we have security guards walking us to our car every night. So I remember, it's normal. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., we'll get a call to say, if your glass, your windows are all broken in your pharmacy, you got to go and meet the glaziers there. Of course, the glaziers don't come. So it's almost like I'm given a second chance and I really want to make it work. And now my son's followed my footsteps. I'm so excited.
It's amazing.
Yeah, really excited. And I've got some phenomenal agents. We've got 4 chairman's elite in our business. And what that means is we're the top 1% internationally. And we're seeing a few more, joining us. So it's exciting.
Where will Vivien Yap be in 10 years? Do you still think you have the same drive? The business would have grown. Like, what do you think it will look like in 10 years' time?
Well, I ask my team this all the time, and they say they still see me working till I'm 80. And that's why I'm exercising every day, making sure that I'm healthy. But I think I'll do this forever. I don't think I'll slow down. If anything, I'll be growing the business and growing the team of agents. And what I really want to do is help my agents grow so they can actually have a successful business within my business. And it's so exciting. We've finally got the correct team and the foundation, and it's a different world out there being a real estate agent. It's not easy. So that's why we have to have a team that's constantly supportive of each other, and we're always there for each other. I think we've got this group chat that we're constantly chatting, trying to help, and they go, and we're not afraid. If anything goes wrong, we've got someone else to help us understand how we can write a contract, and that's something unique in real estate.
Do you think that perception of real estate agents is changing for the better?
Absolutely. I do think so. And I love hearing it from my clients where they go, it's so lovely dealing with your team. It's so lovely dealing with your agents from your office. And I think, hats off to them because they put every part of their life on hold to help their clients. And their net promoter score, which, we use to measure, is constantly 10 out of 10, and it's so good to see because it's a good measure and a good reminder to us. The moment you drop a little bit, you ask, what have we done wrong? So we're not perfect, but at the same time, you do everything you possibly can to help, everyone.
I can't wait to see where this goes. Especially after the week you've just had with the awards and everything, you can see that there's probably a newfound drive and excitement within it.
Yes. As our chairman always says, Brian White is a springboard, and really is a springboard for us now. So it's about elevating each other.
I love finishing off these conversations because there's a part of this where there's just a connection. You don't have a phone in front of us. Like, it's just two people connecting over something, which I find really special. I'd love to hear what you're most proud of personally and professionally.
I've got so many proud moments. I don't know how
Rattle them off.
I think the most important moment is when my son decided to join me in real estate, and that meant a lot to us. Because I never thought he would do real estate. He's always said, no. And when he changed his mind, I thought, wow, that's fantastic that we can definitely, I suppose, open that pathway for him. And one of the proudest moments, of course, is to see many of my agents achieve the chairman's elite status, because there's not many agents in our office, and yet to be ranked number 6 internationally was probably one of my proudest moments. And that has not sunken in yet. So we haven't announced it. So yeah, we've finally announced it here right now, but we will announce it tomorrow. But it's just phenomenal to see how far we've come when we are a very small office. There's only 33 of us and only 14, active agents, whereas over East you see 150 of them with 40, 50 agents. So, it's a powerhouse, I'm really proud to say that, coming from WA, there's a future for us. And we've got a long way to go, really long way to go. And then the culture we have created within our office has been amazing. The fact that we can actually just reach out when in a moment and everyone will just jump in and go, yep, I'll help you, I'll help you. So we are so cohesive. And I think that is my proudest, to have such a cohesive team within an agency where they would always jump in and help each other out. And I've never seen that anywhere locally. I haven't, I have to say, it's just a different feeling. It's like a proud mama to see, everyone growing and to see how far they've come. For example, Emma Milner, she joined me when she was a rookie, and look at where she is today. She's a chairman's elite. It's just fantastic to see, and she's got a team of 3. It's so good. And her son Leo has just joined the business too.
So there is a bit of family vibe.
Yes, and I think that's really special. And to have, I suppose, family members wanting to join our office, and it is ultimately a work family. We spend so much time together, so you've got to get on.
Yeah, that culture doesn't happen by accident though. You must be putting in some really strong foundations in place to make that culture thrive.
Yes, I think we have an end of month and we recognise each other's achievements. We get together regularly and we care for each other, and the friend groups they have created within the agency is fantastic, to see they have similar interests and they hang out together. That only just creates a stronger bond in the agency, and it's fantastic. We're just talking about it when we're away and you just don't see that, and we finally we've got it finally.
So if anyone's listening and they're thinking, I really want to take that step into real estate, what advice would you give them?
I think they have to be very, very determined. Do not give up when, somebody says no to them. It is a long game. It's not a short game. Just because you don't get that listing today, there's going to be plenty more. And you have to make sure that you're persistent and be fully, fully resilient at all times. Just when somebody knocks you down or say something bad about you, don't worry. Just get up and start again.
Do you have any personal methods of getting over those things? Is there anything you do personally?
Yes, I do. I exercise a lot. It clears my head. And there's some days where you just don't feel like doing it because you had such a long night and well into the midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, because you're working with maybe US, time or Eastern Standard Time, or whatever it is that we just don't have enough sleep. Just go, I didn't close a deal. That's bad. But it doesn't matter. I'll just still wake up, at 4 a.m. and get ready for the next, morning and go, 3 hours sleep is okay, but at least I cleared my head and I'm ready to start again. So you're rewiring, all the negative headspace. You're rewiring everything again. You're back onto that positive again, and you good to go.
And then here we are again.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much for coming in. I know the time schedules are tight, and I really, really appreciate you coming in. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my word. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of our community at That Backyard Property Podcast. We would love it if you could like, comment, or even share with a family member or a friend that might get something useful from today's episode. We can't wait to see you again next Tuesday.